My name is Morgan, and I've been a trainer here at SeaWorld for over 12 years. I actually worked at SeaWorld San Antonio first, and then I transferred here to SeaWorld Orlando over 10 years ago. I feel like it was yesterday, but I'm getting older. So I see some familiar faces. Some of you guys have been here the past 2 days. Some of you are new. Don't worry, every day our talk is a little bit different, so you're going to find out new information. Some of this you might know, some of this you might not know. For those of you that have been here every day, I'm just going to start with a general overview of kind of our facility and our whales. And then the talk today is going to get into how do you become a trainer and kind of the tools of the trade. What am I wearing on my waist? What's around my neck? And that type of information. So to start off, we have 7 different pools. Does anyone know how much water? A lot. That's a great answer. 7.2 million gallons of water. So 7 pools, 7.2 million gallons of water, 5 killer whales. Anyone know how cold the water is? 52 degrees, that is right. It ranges between 52, 54, but we have a water quality team that works here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so the chillers are always on, the temperature is always perfect for our killer whales. Now we have 5 killer whales. We have 3 females, Katina, Milani, and Malia, and we have 2 male killer whales, Trua and Makayo. Our youngest killer whale is Makayo, but some of you might not know, because I know a lot of you know a lot of information. Makayo's not our smallest killer whale anymore. He's not. He's the youngest, but he is not the smallest. His sister Milani is officially our smallest killer whale now. Makayo weighs more than her. Our oldest killer whale is Makayo's mother, Katina. Anyone know how old she is? 46. Yes, we say that every show. She is 46 years old. And our largest killer whale is Trua. Trua weighs in at over 7,600 pounds. He eats over 160 pounds of fish every single day. So if you want to know why I smell that, that's why. We deal with a lot of fish. Now, our male killer whales and females will continue to grow until they're around 18 to 20-ish years old. Kind of like us, a lot of people stop growing in college. Some like me keep growing a little more. But that's the range, so they still have lots of time. Trua is 16. Now when they're full grown, they can reach anywhere from 8 to 12,000 pounds. Once they keep gaining weight, obviously they're still growing, they need more food. So the most food we've ever fed here to a killer whale is around 250 pounds every single day. So we smell terrible. All right, so now that we went over a general overview, the question we probably get asked the most, that we answer hundreds of times a day, is how do you become a trainer? How do I get to where you are right now? Number 1 piece of advice I can give people is make sure you are a good swimmer. Most people expect me to say schooling. Schooling is important. We are going to talk about it. Getting good grades is very important. But in order to even get an interview for a job here, you must pass the swim test. If you cannot pass the swim test, you will not get an interview. So practicing your swimming skills is very important. Are all of us here at SeaWorld swimmers? Absolutely not. Some people hired a swim coach. Some people trained with family friends. Some people were college athletes and they already knew how to swim. Every single person who has been hired here has a different path, a different track, a different way of getting the job. So it's always a great question to ask different trainers. I know a trainer in SeaWorld San Antonio that took the swim test 8 times. Took her 8 times to be able to pass the swim test, but she didn't give up, and she was a trainer for about 10 years. Now with that being said, people always ask about schooling, and this is probably the most shocking to everyone. The preferred degree for what we do is is psychology. Human psychology. Everything we do is based on behavior modification. So when the killer whales do something we ask, we draw a lot of attention to it. We blow our whistle. That tells them, good job, it's exactly what I wanted you to do. Come back to me and you'll get something for it. Now, obviously, we talked about fish. They get a lot of fish. They also get back rubs. They get ice cubes. They get jello. They have all kinds of toys. We call them environmental enrichment devices. We have a fire hose, like an actual fireman hose, that our killer whales really love. Their blubber's very thick. So there's many ways. I only named a few that we can tell them great job. We can play hide and go seek with them. Yes, we can play hide and go seek with killer whales. Now what do we do when the killer whales do something that we simply didn't ask? Nothing. If you've been to a show recently, you've probably seen us have to ad-lib, let the killer whales figure it out. Killer whales are very social animals. They're constantly communicating with one another. They're a matriarchal society, so even though males are double the size full grown of females are in charge. They're the bosses. She's like, yeah, just like at home. That's what she said. So it is a matriarchal society. So that is why psychology is so important. It's all about behavior modification. We never tell the killer whales no. We never say bad job. There's no form of punishment. It's only positive reinforcement. Now with that being said, I tell people to major in something you enjoy. Because there's not a lot of job openings. Once we get our dream job, we tend not to want to leave our dream job. So, I knew psychology was preferred going into this. I chose marine science. I didn't really want to be inside at a desk if this didn't work out. I wanted to be out in the swamps, out in the field, the salt marshes of the Carolinas, whatever it is. So I did choose marine science. Everyone here has a different degree. We have people with chemistry, biology, environmental science, marine science. Shout out, what are some of your degrees? Geography, see? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Emily. Sammy, what are you? You're marine science, right, Sammy? No. Aquaculture. Again, you do not have to major in psychology to work here. 2 people out of 2 people just proved that. I did marine science. Again, really important, the swim test. But how do you get a swim test? This is where a lot of people get stuck. They send in their resumes over and over and over and over again, but it doesn't have the right information on it. In order for your resume to get accepted, you have to be scuba certified. Because of what we do here, because of the swim test, because our pool is 40 feet deep, the dolphin pool that the swim test is in is about 23 to 25 feet deep. You need to know how to clear your ears. You know when you go on an airplane and you gotta chew bubble gum or pop your ears? So scuba skills will teach you that. So everyone that applies for an animal training job needs to have a scuba certification and CPR certification. If that is not on your resume, they're probably going to pass it up. So I had a lot of people the past few days that said, I've sent my resume so many times, and my first question was, are you scuba certified? And they said no. So those 2 things are really important. Other things that will help you. Working with animals. It doesn't have to be a job. It can be an internship. It can be paid. It can be not paid. It can be with dolphins. It can be with horses. It can be at a vet clinic with dogs. It can be with pigs. It doesn't matter what animals. It just shows you work with animals. Working with animals takes time. It takes patience. They're not perfect. Even if you have a dog or a cat at home, I guarantee you that dog's not perfect. So it just will give you the practice of patience and understanding. So all that looks absolutely amazing on your resume. Now the swim test is done at Dolphin Stadium. It's changed a little bit over the years, so back in my day, every pool they have there they can utilize. So I can't exactly tell you what pool the swim test will be in, but it's typically done in the front pool, the show pool. So if you think about Dolphin Stadium, it's a large pool like this. A typical swim test is underwater swim all the way across, typical swim test starts with a freestyle swim. Freestyle swim above the water, all the way down, all the way back. Again, this is not done here, this is done at Dolphin Stadium. The water is a refreshing like 80-something degrees. So you're in a swimsuit, it is not 54 degrees. So again, freestyle swim, all the way down, all the way back. Then it's an underwater swim. They used to have you go as far as you could go. They would like you to go at least all the way down one way. If you can turn around, if you can touch the wall, if you can come back, they would always say, go as far as you can go. So they want to see how long you can hold your breath. And then you have to dive down to the bottom of the pool. They'll usually have a small object. A lot of people are like, I heard it's a 20-pound weight. It's not a 20-pound weight. It may be something to just retrieve off the bottom of the pool to show that you got to the bottom. Now again, this could be done on one of the back pools. Depends on what's available. Every swim test is slightly different. I'm old. What swim test did you guys do? Did you do it in the front pool or the back pool? Front, Emily? Oh, front, Sammy, back, back. They did it in the back. So most of them did it in the back. They were all recently hired. Emily's been here a little over a year. Nicole's been here probably 3 years, and the rest just got hired within the past 6 months. So again, you'll see they all answer a little differently. Every swim test is a little different. Sometimes they have you do 25 push-ups. When I did it, I had to do 25 push-ups. And then we did a script. So whether it was our heroes lines here at Shamu, or we did a sea lion script or something, they just want to show that you're comfortable speaking in front of a crowd. This is a very small crowd. This is like so personal. Usually we have 6,000 people in our stadium. So if you are not comfortable speaking in front of people, comfortable speaking in a crowd, if you go to any of the performances here, any of the shows, there's always a trainer on mic. It doesn't matter now. Dolphin show, sea lion show, here, even if you're working at an aquarium, they talk to guests all the time. The bird trainers talk to guests all the time. So public speaking is extremely important. So make sure you're comfortable in public speaking. Sometimes, I don't know if they over there did it, but they'll have you carry buckets of water. Because our killer whale buckets of fish are over 30 pounds. So build up those muscles. Sometimes you're carrying Truist buckets, they're like 40 pounds in each arm. Again, that is their swim test there. They're telling me I need to wrap it up soon. But our swim test here, once you get hired, you can be placed at multiple areas within the park, working with belugas or dolphins or sea lions. You don't necessarily always have a choice. I started at killer whale, got moved to whale and dolphin, worked with belugas, Pacific white-sided dolphins, bottlenose dolphins, and then got moved to sea lion, worked with sea lions, otters, and walruses, and back here at Orca. So your career path can go all these different paths. Everyone has a different one. Once you get here, we have our own separate swim test, and it's done with our James Bond scuba belts. You don't get a mask. It's basically scuba diving without a mask on. So we use our belts. This is a mini scuba bottle, and I can pull this completely out, goes in my mouth. It's just air in there. We've never used it, we've never had to use it, but we practice multiple times, 8 times a year. And this is our swim test here. So we do a swim test here 8 times a year. So again, it's like scuba diving without a mask on. So you have to get comfortable breathing without a big old mask covering your face. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being here. You guys were absolutely awesome. No one fell asleep on me. So I'm going to take that as a positive. We do have one more presentation tonight, one more show. And that is at 8:15. 8:15, I'm like Jen now. She knows. They tell us pretty much ours, so you guys tell us our schedule because we forget. It changes daily. So we do have one more presentation at 8:15, so we would love to see you guys there tonight.